And since we're here, we're gonna do a quick little cold start. Sport, nobody behind me. 3, 2, 1. And 100. It's really not bad at all, to the point where spending 90 grand for a truck like this doesn't seem like a bad financial decision if you're ready to spend that kind of money, because the MSRP for this thing is literally 90K. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got the keys to a 2025 Chevy Silverado LT with a 5.3 liter V8 pushing 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque with a 10-speed automatic transmission. And yes, it is 4x4. Yes, the thing is gigantic. And yes, we have our GoPro number 2 right over there above the exhaust. And since we're here, we're gonna do a quick little cold start. Nice. It sounds really good. And it's actually not bad at all. The size of this truck is actually immense and it can tow just below 12,000 pounds. And it's a solid truck. But hopping into the interior, oh yeah, this is what our key looks like. Unlock, lock, remote start, dropping the trunk, and our logo right here with the little chrome bits. Hopping inside, cloth seats all around. Nothing on top as we have no sunroof, which is fair to be honest. Rubber mats, and you got your speaker down here with a nice wood trim finishing with a little bit of chrome / aluminum. I don't know how you guys say it, aluminium or whatever. But coming towards the front, where you guys saw that beautiful headlight animation, you can see the size of this thing and the bumps on the hood, making it so boxy and so menacing that I actually love it. Like, there is nothing you can hate about a big truck like this, and I see why Americans love these things. Now, my favorite part. Look at that. That's actually really good. Foot on the brake. As you can see, we have a lot of buttons around us. So much is going on, but let me quickly explain to you what's going on right now. First things first, when we look at this, you can see our gigantic screen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. And you can see we have our cruise control settings, heated seats, adaptive cruise control setting over here. And this is just our menu selector for our fully digital gauge cluster right here. So we can switch all around. We're gonna put it up to our speed, our vents, and our sport mode selector, turning it this, off-road, terrain. We're gonna put it into sport mode, and we will just pretty much just go with the flow at this point. Let's go for a quick little drive. Putting it in drive, this is our gear selector. Very manly. And the reason I can never get myself a V8 is look at our current gas mileage, 16 liters for every 100 kilometers. Roughly because I'd be stepping on it, but listen to that exhaust. Sounds absolutely magnificent. And for a truck like this, suspension is really good, which makes sense. It is quite a big truck. And if we do a light exhaust rev, absolutely beautiful. Like, there is literally nothing you can hate about this truck. And again, you're looking at our screen, you can see how gigantic this is. And if you are worried about the response time, don't be. This thing is quick. It's a quick little bugger. absolutely beautiful. And for those wondering, this is what our backup camera looks like. We're just trying to get out of a tight spot, but let us hurry up and get the heck out of here. This is low-key gonna become one of my favorite trucks, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, the exhaust note. Oh. And you can just see my gas mileage continue to climb as I do this stuff. But okay, let's take it easy for a bit and put it back into normal driving mode. And brake check. There's no one behind me, don't worry, we're good. Stops on a dime. She is excellent. There is literally nothing you can hate. And if you look at all of the buttons up here, we can turn back on our engine. We got our lane keep assist, our traction control, and this button with the windows. Press that and hold it. All your windows come down. And you can't really pull them back up, so you gotta use your controls over here that are down here. But looking at this, I'm pretty sure this one has a way better interior compared to the Fords, because I'm sure not many Fords come close to the quality interior wise of a car like this. But first things first, you know we're gonna do a 0 to 60 real quick. And we're gonna put in our sportiest settings, and we're gonna turn back on our traction control because I really don't want to burn our tires. So we're gonna go into sport, nobody behind me. 3, 2, 1. And 100. Just like that. And we even got a speed warning because of how quickly we accelerated. This thing has the technology, the luxury, and the space. And not gonna lie, it low-key has handles for such a big boat. And with a towing power of just below 13,000 pounds, you can kind of see the emphasis and the power behind this truck. And it's really addictive once you get used to it. It's really not bad at all. To the point where spending 90 grand for a truck like this doesn't seem like a bad financial decision if you're ready to spend that kind of money, because the MSRP for this thing is literally 90K. So if you have 90 bands sitting out there waiting for you to spend it on something, please go ahead, spend your money on a well-deserved truck. But for me, I would definitely do that. Like, while you're driving, like, let's cool down a bit and go back into normal mode. We're gonna try out our cruise control, and we're gonna take it slow for a bit, right? Go simple, go easy, essentially. And see how low our gas mileage drops, because right now we're looking at 16.5 with the way we've been stepping on it and the way this car has been sounding, blessing me with the exhaust note it has. So we're gonna get our cruise control ready, and then we're gonna set to 56 kilometers an hour. Our lane keep assist is active, as you guys can see. All our lights is green to go. And since we're just going crazy, and let me quickly double check on my camera. Yeah, it's still there, hanging on for dear life. But as we just cruise, we can just take it easy and essentially relax. We don't have to go crazy anymore. This car can really soften up and just be so smooth and so easy to work with, to the point where I have nothing to fear. I am not worried about a single thing on this planet. And sometimes you do feel a little bit of bumps, not because it has a softer suspension, but it has really good suspension nonetheless. But it is really, really good. And if you're worried about storage, we have a lot of room in the back seat, and our visibility and our blind spots are actually not that bad. We don't seem to have blind spot monitoring, but it is what it is. And for you to switch from 4x4 to, let's say, rear wheel drive, as this one is rear wheel drive biased, there's buttons down here, so we're gonna click it and put it into auto. We can put it into 2-wheel drive, but we're gonna keep it in auto because life's simpler that way when it's in auto. I don't have to lose traction every 3 seconds trying to step on it, so it's really, really nice. And since we're going basically into downtown territory, traffic is gonna become a little bit more busier, to be honest. But even more better conditions to test out our cruise control. So we're gonna set it up all over again. And then boom, at 54. Now let us quickly cruise. And for those wondering what our speakers sound like, we're gonna quickly turn on to menu. We're gonna go to audio. Don't select the phone that is connected. Audio. And we're gonna go to FM. And that is good enough. Turn it up. Not bad at all, actually. Very, very good. Again, this one is definitely much more luxury compared to the big three. We got Ram, we got Ford, and we got Chevy. Chevy, for sure, is definitely more luxury based and more luxury focused compared to the Rams, which are basically workhorses that will take a beating and literally not try and look as good. The Fords are, I really don't know the Ford market, to be honest. The Ford market could literally be those who need the trucks or those who just want trucks. Chevy guys are a little bit more chill out of the rest. Dodge drivers, they have their quirks, basically. But the Chevy drivers, I've never really heard anything bad about Chevys in general. Nobody explicitly says, oh, I hate Chevy, I could never drive a Chevy. But I've heard people really dislike some of the Fords, but to each their own. You can choose one of the big three. And if you ever think about buying, let's say, I know Hyundai is getting random shots for this, but the Hyundai Santa Cruz, the truck one, please don't. I've driven those ones and really not my cup of tea. I don't know what Hyundai was thinking trying to make a truck like that, but get yourself a proper American-made trucks, because nobody makes trucks better than the Americans, and that is a fact that I can 100% stand on. Sure, we might not have the best sports cars. Sure, we barely have any proper supercars out here except for like the Ford GT. Shout out to Ford. But really, when it comes to trucks, America is not beat. Nobody is better than making trucks than the Americans, and you can see the craftsmanship in these cars. Because if I take a truck like this to, let's say, the UK, this thing is a monster. Where it's regular size here to the UK, it's it's a monster. It's way too big. There's nowhere for it to go, and the suspension just literally makes me float above everything. Just the reason I'm falling in love with this one so much compared to, let's say, the Ford F-150 or the Ram with the 5.7 Hemi is that this one has a little bit of luxury added to it. It sounds good. It has a little bit of the performance, a little bit of the luxury, and a little bit of the style, all in one, to the point where I am just like, you know what, it's the gift that keeps on giving. It's a little bit extra sometimes, but I love it. I really do love it. And since we keep stepping on it, our fuel mileage hasn't really gone down that much, but that's on me. If you have better driving habits compared to me, your life is gonna be way more simple and way more easier. But basically, it is still a very good car. And for the price, it's honestly not bad. It's also pretty reliable. The 10-speed automatic transmission, unlike Ford's random shots at Ford, people tend to love these ones quite a bit and really don't have anything they can exactly hate about it. It's not bad, and it's still pretty reliable and somewhat responsive, because if we, let's say, go into manual mode and decide to start shifting on our own, like so, boom, it's still quite responsive and literally, again, not a sports car by any way, shape or form, but it's not bad at all. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the 2025 Chevy Silverado, coming to you not live but from Morty. Take care, guys, and peace.